and then we found Aqua² Lab. We were not really expecting it to be this beautiful planted aquarium shop.
6 months that we've had this cube at home, and till date I only admire it. I get happy around it, and I have no contribution to this.
Did you find any perspective of any career opportunities, or how this would benefit giving a direction to kids to get a career opportunity on this?
So yeah, I think that there are a lot of opportunities, and it is something.
Hi everyone, welcome to aqua² Lab. Today I have a very young, bright student, or aqua² Lab student that we have. Her name is Arna. She is one who has actually created the planted aquarium all by herself with the support from the aqua² Lab team. And we're going to interview her with her beautiful creation from her house, and we're going to talk about a lot of things, and we're going to have a good conversation with her and her parents as well. So let's move in, and first of all, let's just look at the beautiful entrance. And there we are. We got Swapnil, Shiva, and Arna is here, and we're going to just walk in and then find out what they're doing. Come. Everyone, thank you for joining aqua² Lab today. I have one of the youngest aquarists with me today. Her name is Arna, and we are excited to share her experience, share her story, because she is one of them who has successfully made the entire process of planted aquarium in her house with the required training and everything. So we're going to talk about all the experience that she had from day one, and we will move forward with a lot of questions. We will introduce Arna, we'll talk about her and her experience, and we are going to talk to her parents as well, who have been equally supportive in the entire process. So Arna, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Great. And do you like what you made?
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is beautiful. So Arna, what has been your experience? And I want to know everything about where did the thought of actually making a planted aquarium come to you, and how did you approach us? How did you find us? And did you set up a planted aquarium or any kind of aquarium, or do you have any experience? Tell me about it.
This all started when last year we were in Bangalore, and I really wanted a pet. So my mother said you can get a pet fish since she's really scared of dogs. So we got a fish bowl and we put 8 fishes in it, small fishes. They were half the size of these guppies, and they didn't survive for very long. And it was not a planted aquarium, it was just a type of aquariums you see in all houses. It's a very common type of aquarium. But after a little while, after those died, after 2-3 months, we got more fishes, but this time it was 2 goldfishes. One died really early on, and the other had got a cut on their stomach. And it was really sad to see both of them die. But then when we moved back to Gurgaon, I still wanted pets, because every kid wants a pet in life. So I asked my father to find aquarium shops, and we were just looking, and then we found Aquascaper Lab. We were not really expecting it to be this beautiful planted aquarium shop. We were just expecting it to be a normal one. We had almost given up because it was a bit hard to find.
Yeah.
But it was all worth the wait.
The effort?
Yeah.
Great. And you talked about the goldfish. Did you, the goldfish that you had purchased, this was in Bangalore, right?
Yes.
And how big was the bowl?
The bowl was this wide.
Okay.
No, this wide and this tall.
Okay. So this is the one that you usually see in any of the aquarium shops, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me more about that bowl. So what all things did you put in that bowl?
In that bowl, there were only 2 main components, which were not fish or water. They would just, you see stones, like colorful stones in some aquariums. We had those and 1 fake plant. Because you don't really find planted aquarium.
And did you know that you could keep plants in an aquarium?
I only thought that was able to happen in the sea or in a ginormous tank.
Okay.
And so sea water tank, and so this was a freshwater aquarium in which you had kept the goldfish at that time. Great. So when you visited my gallery in Gurgaon, the Aqua² Lab, so what was your experience when you saw those aquariums? So had you ever experienced those kind of planted aquariums before anywhere?
I had never ever experienced a planted aquarium. I had once tried to grow a plant in water, but it failed horribly. But when I saw your shop, I was amazed. I never knew that this could happen in such a small tank.
Right. And from your perspective, what do you think that what went wrong when you had that plant in the game? So did you searched about it on internet? Did you find something that why that plant died or why did the fish die? So did you search I mean, did you make any effort to search in the information on the internet, and were you able to find that information?
No, not really.
Okay, great. So, in conversation with Arla, with her beautiful planted aquarium setup, and guys, I wanted to highlight this, that from start to end, this is a completely one person made tank with the support of family, of course. So we're going to have a lot more questions and answers, and we are going to interview a lot of students of Aquascape Lab in the future. So if you do have any questions, please ensure you put it on the comments. And for more upcoming questions before that, just make sure you subscribe, like and share our YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook. So Arna, tell me something that you obviously started with our all-in-one Aquascape Lab planted aquarium kit. So what was your experience about the kit and the step-by-step guide that comes, which also has those 45-day day 1, day 2, day 3 and a day-wise process in it, and of course the support that you get on WhatsApp and phone calls from the Aquascape Lab team. So can you tell me about that experience?
Yeah, so the kit was very helpful. We didn't have to buy all those things individually. Like we didn't have to buy the food individually, the net for putting the fish in, all these things. We didn't have to buy it individually. It all came in one kit. And the guide really helped me, as you don't really know about what you're going to do as a beginner in planting a planted aquarium. So the guide was really helpful for me, and also the team. They were really helpful. As when we first got it, one fish, because of overeating, the fish had started swimming upside down and really fast. Like it was zooming around the tank upside down. So we had just sent a video. The team very quickly, they just replied saying that it might have been because of overeating. They were really helpful.
Right, and just want to highlight that when the Aquascape Lab team provides the support, they also helps the students and the customers to actually ensure they properly take the video like a close-up, and they show on how to take those videos, because when those videos arrive to us and when they arrive, we are able to inspect that and figure out what could be the issue, and probable guidelines on how we can actually provide those information on how to fix it is then provided. And that's one of the experience that Arna is talking about. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, Arna, tell me something. When you received the kit from the Aquascape Lab Planted Aquarium Starter Kit from a website, and when you got it at home, so tell me something, the entire experience and the story, how did you go step by step from there?
Yeah, so when I first opened the box, it was a lot of stuff. I thought, how am I all going to fit this inside one tiny drawer? But then I saw it's not just that many. It's a lot of things, but I was able to fit in my drawer. So first we got the glass, the tank, a glass cover,
Okay,
which is on top of it to prevent the fish from jumping out, and a light. Then when I started making the kit, then there was a bacteria layer which we added, then power sand, which is a lava rock basically, and then we put the soil. After that we put hardscaping, and we put plants.
Okay, so I remember you calling me up Varun, is there a very good way I can keep the rocks and the driftwood together? So I remember you coming to my lab. So tell me about your experience when you came to the lab. What all did you learn on the gluing part and everything?
Yeah, so I learned that, of course, super glue is harmful to animals. And I also saw that there were multiple types of wood and rocks, which were really interesting to look at. One of the wood pieces which I've used in my tank only looks like reminded me of Voldemort's wand from
Nice.
Harry Potter, and yeah, I really like that one.
So you picked that one, I remember. Yeah. So you got the wood, and then you followed the step-by-step guide to go one day at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me, how did your parents help in this?
My parents were with me through the whole process. Whenever I got stuck, they just helped me a bit with whatever they understood.
Right.
And they were really supportive.
Great. So I remember you talking about that there are many water changes, and I spoke about that water changes is one of the most important thing during the first 45 days. Tell me about your experience on the water changes that you did in the initial days.
The first two times when we had to do the water change, we had to do 100%, which was very time consuming, as we had to drain out the whole tank and we had to fill up RO water. So that was a bit time consuming. After I think the third or fourth week, we could start doing 50% every day. And after 1-2 weeks,
50% alternate days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after another 2-3 weeks, we could do 30% every week.
Right. So then it became easier. So anything that you want to say to our viewers, questions like, for example, storing the water in advance or something like that?
Yeah, so you should always make sure that your RO is filled so that you have enough water for the tank. And don't overfeed your fish.
Right. So that is where I think you went wrong once, but then we fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you saw the changes.
Yeah.
Great. So overall, what about the overall experience? So did you find it easy because the guide was available?
Yeah, it was extremely easy, as we could just, if we had any doubts, which none of us knew, we could just check the guide and it would help us.
Great. So Arna, tell me one more thing. From your experience, the entire concept of this planted aquarium with the plants, the fish, and the entire thing, how did it help you? How did it help you in learning science behind this?
It was not just science. It's science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Oh, you talked about the entire STEAM process. So it's the new age learning, which is the practical way of learning the entire thing. Yes, I want to know more about it. So can you tell me, like, which part of the aquarium helped you with every aspect of it?
So in science, of course, the fishes, how they photosynthesis, and all this type of stuff.
Environmental.
Yeah. And for
technology,
I could figure out how the light works by a plug. I could figure out how the filtration system works, how the heating system works for the heater which you've given us for the winters.
Right.
And for technology, that's it. Then it's engineering. In engineering, you have to figure out how does the filtration system work.
Absolutely.
How does it filter out? What is there which filters out dirt and sends out clean water?
Right.
And then it's art. For the art, it's how do you design a cube.
The art in which you lay out or put the pieces together, like very beautifully you have. I'll give you a close-up of this, how beautifully you've kept the rock, and then also ensured that there is a certain aspect of driftwood also available. It looks like a fallen tree in between a hill or a rock. So that's absolutely right. So that's the arts. What's the next?
After that, it's math. The math is the velocity of the water which needs to be changed every week. The velocity of water which is in the filtration system, and the amount of light which the tank is getting, which it should get for photosynthesis to occur.
Yep, absolutely. And the calculation of the water, the volumetric, like percentage of water, how much percentage needs to be there, and so that sure that would have helped you in maths as well.
Yes, it did.
Nice. So Arna, tell me something about what is the one thing or things that you like about your aquarium.
I like how the fish are always coming when I come close to the tank. They always come up to the tank, come up to the front, and like they're humans who are trying to meet me. And also I like that whenever my friends come over or my family come over, then I can just show off to them. Look, I have a planted aquarium.
And do you explain them also that how this is different from the regular aquarium?
Yes, I explain. First, when they come in, they think that it's fake plants. They don't realize that it's real. But then I tell them, like, they don't believe it's real. They're real plants.
You know, this is so true. When people walk into my gallery, out of 10 people, 8 people would say, ask me that are these real plants or these are fake plants? And then I have to explain, no, these are real plants. And I'm sure that is what is happening in your house as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what is happening.
Okay, so tell me one more last question. In this room, which is your center of attraction?
The tank.
The tank. And I see a beautiful Christmas tree. And I absolutely like the way you have set up the entire Christmas tree and the decoration around your aquarium itself. So that clearly shows. Thank you, Arna, for all of that. We will again have much more questions, and I want to definitely call you again for your experience. And for that matter, I give you an opportunity to come to my Aquascaper lab, and you have already created one for yourself. And now I give you an opportunity to create one more, and I will place that in my display, and I will name it as Arna's tank, and I will maintain it for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Great. Thank you so much, Arna. So, hi everyone, welcome back to Aqua² Lab. I am Varun Shah, and I am in conversation with Shibha. She is the mother for Arna, who has actually set up this beautiful planted aquarium all by herself. And she is one of our students from many, wherein she went through the entire process of learning the art of aquascaping and actually going step by step following the process. So we have just talked to Arna, and she said some beautiful things about the learning she got. And now I want to talk about the same experience from the perspective of a parent. And so Shibha, so from perspective of the parent, looking at your child who has been involved in this from day one. So tell me all about the experience that you had.
Okay. So I will start from the beginning.
Okay.
Is that I was initially reluctant to get an aquarium because I thought ultimately it will become my responsibility of managing the aquarium, the cleanliness and everything. So I was not sure. But when we visited your lab for the first time, and we really got that confidence from you that you would be supporting us throughout the journey.
Yeah.
And we also saw that Arna developed keen interest. So we visited many aquarium shops in the city, but we could not have that sort of a connect that we had in your lab, where we felt that she actually was attracted to the concept of the cube, the planted aquarium and everything. So that gave us confidence. And we thought, okay, let's go ahead with it, with the promise that Arna will maintain it.
Right.
And I will only look at it
Absolutely.
and I will enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think it's been what, 6 months that we've had,
yeah.
6 months that we've had this cube at home. And till date, I only admire it. I get happy around it, and I have no contribution to this.
Great.
Everything has been done by Arna and her father.
So that sense of responsibility.
Yeah, so it has instilled that sense of responsibility in her. She's always conscious if when we were setting it up, so she was conscious of every day that we have to change the water, we have to do this to the plant. Mama, can you call uncle? Can you check with him? This, that. So that sense of responsibility came in. And then when we started putting in the fish and everything, so she would ensure that the fish get the food every day, or actually they don't need it, but she was like always checking on them. She would observe their behavior, that whether they're swimming too fast or if they've become dull or what has happened. So we saw that she was really engaging with the fish. So as a mother, it's very nice for me to see to have that sort of responsibility towards a living cube in our house. And of course, it's a center of attraction. Anybody who comes, it becomes a talking point. Yeah.
Thank you. So, for our viewers, tell me something that you own a planted aquarium now, and I'm sure you would have gone for some vacation for 4-5 days. What has been your experience in that?
Actually, that was one of my first questions to you, is that we are both working, and of course, we travel also a lot every month or so when we are out for 3-4 days in a month. So that was one of my concerns, that what will happen to the aquarium, who's going to feed the fish, and how is it going to be taken care of. And that's when you reassured us that because it's a planted aquarium, you can actually leave them as it is for a few days and the fish will survive. The food that we give, the top feed that we give, actually is like a luxury meal for them, but they don't really need it. And we've seen it also, is that we've been out almost every month, 3 or 4 days minimum we've been out, and the fish have been happy. And of course, so there is also, so when we go on vacations, another concern is what about the lighting, the filtration, everything, how will it be taken care of? So we have this, you've given us a very nice Smartify.
Wi-Fi, yes.
So this is a smart kit, so which is connected to the Wi-Fi and it is controlled by our phone. So the filter, the light, everything, the time has been set. So we don't really need to, worry, oh, it's 6 p.m, the light should be on. It goes on its own and switches off on its own every day without fail. So wherever we are, right? So that really takes care of us. And then, so all the electricals are tuned to that, and they're working as per that. So that really helps while we are responsible, but at least that way we are not so concerned that if we are not around, then what will happen. Yeah.
Tell me something with the sense of responsibility that Arna has shown in the last 6 months. Do you feel a little more confident that yes, if you, in case you get a pet in your house, that in case if you have to, then you will have that confidence in her?
No, surely. So this is an early step, right? Baby step to start with a planted aquarium where the animal is actually confined in a space and it requires lesser. I mean, if I compare it to some like a dog or a cat, it requires more physical care than this. So it's an early step for her, and I see that she has become more responsible. And I see that going forward, as she will grow up, that discipline will remain in her, that commitment will remain. As she'll grow up, she will be free to get as many pets as she wants. So I'm confident of her managing pets when she grows up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I think one more thing that I would talk about, not just that, there are a lot of customers who have actually come to me and says, I want to keep a pet, but I'm allergic to pet hair and all that. And I provide this as a solution because this is something which is absolutely doable. It gives you a solution to keep a pet in your house without basically getting hampered with the allergy and all. So thank you for that, Shiva. The last question that I had was that, tell me something, the planted aquarium as a concept, I'm sure that this concept, so were you aware of this concept before?
So I was partially aware. So we've been to Singapore, we've seen Sea Aquarium where we've seen planted aquariums, but I've seen them at large scale. I have not seen them in houses, in domesticated like this at home so I always used to think that they're large projects for big commercial spaces or for as attractions. So I knew of the concept, but I didn't know that it can actually enter into your home. It can be done so easily. So I used to feel that this is so difficult and you need to, it's like some sort of a rocket science and you need to really figure out so many things. And, we as laymen would probably not know, you got to be some scientist, aquamarine scientist or someone to be able to do this.
Absolutely.
But the way you have simplified the process and the way you've put it together, actually any layman can just get it. And of course, with your support, so there is a lot of guidance also which comes. But so it's something that you can't go wrong with it. You can't really literally say, oh, it didn't work. No,
and just last question, that syllabus itself. And I've seen the CBSE topics, class 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, especially the environmental science and a lot of things. Do you feel that, let's say, when Arna is studying all that, she has a practical lab in the house? Can you just talk more about it?
No, for sure. So she's in grade 5 now and they're already learning about environmental science. So I see that she picks up the right terminology and she understands the process, and because she's seen it in real with her own eyes, 24/7 she sees it. So it helps a lot, and as she will grow, she wants to get into science. I mean, right now that's her ambition to get further in this science field only. So I think it's going to really be helpful to see it live with your eyes, and the curiosity will grow further, right? So she's at this level today, and she would want to find out more and more. Because we already have an aquarium at home, so she would want to know, okay, what more can we do with it, or what does it do?
Right.
So while right now she may be at the grade 5 level, but as she progresses, her knowledge of this little cube, which I'm sure there are 1 million things which we don't know yet, right? So which she will pick up as she will grow older.
Great. And do you feel that this is almost like a small science lab in a house?
I think more than science lab, I think it's a living little a piece of ocean in my house.
Great.
So I actually feel connected. So I really love the ocean, so I feel so connected with it that I have a little piece of ocean in my house. So yeah.
So what is your thought on recommending something like this for, especially there is a new concept of homeschools which are there, and there are a lot of parents who are actually doing homeschooling. Do you feel that something like this will benefit them?
Absolutely. I think that it will, first of all, it will be very interactive for the children, because they get so excited. Not just children, I've seen adults also get so excited when they see something like this. They want, and everyone is so creative. You know, somebody may want to put their hardscape in certain way. Somebody may want to do the plants in a different way. Somebody may want to have, you know, so we have done it more like a jungle theme, more like, you know, a little tropical kind of a thing we have done. Somebody may want to give it a totally different. So, you know, it's an open canvas. So you can do it just the way you want to. So yeah, definitely. I think that for homeschooling also, the children can go wild with their imagination and creativity, and it's a good way for them to engage with it.
Yeah. And what about the regular schools? I mean, do you think that this can be kept at a school?
I think so. I think in schools, every school should have something like this, because when they're teaching marine biology to children, and that there is a chapter like there are physics labs, chemistry labs in school. There is a biology lab also in school.
Right.
So they give us skeletons, they give us all sorts of biological drawings. But when it comes to marine biology, you know, you're just probably just taught and given some pictures or shown a video.
Even salt water and fresh water body concepts. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So like just the way some of the schools maintain a pond in their school to teach children about the pond life, right? So this can teach them more about the aquamarine life, that how it actually happens. So yeah, I think it's going to be good for the children in schools as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Shiba, for that. And we're again going to have some more conversation probably. And we're going to talk about some of the career opportunities also which are available here in a short while. So keep watching. So Shiba, tell me something that it's been 6 months, it's there. Did you find any perspective of any career opportunities, or how this would benefit giving a direction to kids to get a career opportunity on this?
Actually, yes, because we've had it for 6 months, so I've explored a little more on this subject. We are all interested in it. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of opportunities, and it is something maybe not a lot of people know, is that you can get into aquascaping, you can get into water body management, which has a lot of opportunities for students. So don't just think of typical engineer or scientist. Within planted aquariums, it gives you access to so many different kinds. Whether you're looking into aquascaping at a large scale, this is a small cube, but you can actually, if you learn this, you can scale it up, right? There's of course how do you manage the water, and what sort of fish and plant, and all of that. So there are so many opportunities around the world. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And just last question, I just overheard that you do yoga here. Does this help you in the yoga?
Yeah, it's as I said, it adds to the ambience, is that keeps the environment very calm. My fellow yogis who I connect with on call, they've seen this and they've all spoken to me about it. I've shared it with them. Yeah, so it helps to bring that feeling of calmness.
Yeah, you can just put a speaker and probably.
I do. We've got speakers here, so I do play music.
And you can just put like a running water music, waterfall kind of sound at the back, and you can definitely enjoy it. So thank you, Shiba, for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining again the aqua² Lab planted aquarium starter kit we are talking about. And my name is Varun Shah. I'm the founder for aqua² Lab, and I have got Swapnil with me. He is a proud father for Arna, who has actually built this beautiful planted aquarium. And I have a couple of questions for you, Swapnil. So let's talk about your experience first with the planted aquarium from the day when you got this in your house.
Yeah, so it has been there as something that we all have interacted with and we have engaged with as a family most of the time. I have seen Arna grow along with it. So as she has been maturing along with the aquarium itself. There was a cycle of 45 days initially wherein, we had to mature the aquarium, and I saw a change happening in Arna also, that she also contribute, getting more and more concerned about what is happening. She was curious about what was going on, what was changing, why were we doing certain things, those kind of stuff. And along with that, we have been bonding together. So we saw that, as the aquarium was maturing, I saw Anna also maturing along with it. She was interacting more and more. She was very curious about what is happening. Why are we making certain changes to the aquarium? What is causing, the change in the scape? And it is kind of a bonding opportunity for me with a child. With being working parents, we don't get too many activities together also. And this is one of the activities that we regularly partake in, and which she is also very passionate about, and we also find it very, very interesting to engage upon.
Great. And do you think that as a family, so what is that activity, of those activities wherein everybody gets together for this?
There is a daily evening ritual kind of, when the light is on, we are back from the office, or even if we are working from home, we are free from work. And sometimes we just sit down and we are watching the fish roam around, and we are seeing, the photosynthesis happening in real time. We see the bubbles of oxygen kind of popping up out of the plant, and it is going up, and it's so beautiful to watch. It's very serene. It's very quiet. It kind of helps you calm down, unwind, and we are sitting together. We are having our chit chats while we are all observing. So it's a great bonding activity, I believe. It's a great place to for converging all of us together, bringing us together, and then having those chats around. So maybe in the English setup, there's a fireplace wherein everyone sits around. This becomes like something of a similar sort for our family as well.
So from very well said about basically, we can actually put focus on mental health. So do you think that from the perspective of mental health, this can be recommended to health institutes or probably places where this can be put, like hospitals, and so your thoughts on that?
I do believe it would have some therapeutic value. I'm not sure what the science or the things that have gone behind it. I can't claim on that, but and as an anecdotal event, I can tell you that when I'm back from office or after a day of work and sitting together watching the fishes go around, and the trees and the greenery that you see with the natural, the beauty of the nature in front of you, it's very, very calming for me at a personal level, and we do enjoy it. And I believe that it would have some value, or it would help people calm down. It will help people, kind of meditate. You enter kind of a meditative state when you are, observing these things. It is just about observation and those gentle natural movements. That's very beautiful.
Absolutely well said. In fact, I want to talk about this thing in a little more detail to viewers. There is a scientific study which has happened wherein it has been clearly noticed that they had two dental clinics, and in one of the dental clinics they had kept a planted aquarium, and in the other dental clinic they did not have any aquarium. So when the patients were coming in, what they did was they actually took their vitals just before walking into the doctor's clinic, and they clearly saw the anxiety levels of the clinic where the planted aquarium was kept to be lower than the other one. So that's a proven study from the mental health perspective. So that is something that I wanted to share with everyone. And not only that, in a Japanese or Chinese concepts, if we learn, there is something known as the chi, which is basically the moment you touch the water, your human body comes in touch with the water, there is a hormone which is automatically released, which basically lowers down your it makes you more calm. So that is again something which is Japanese and Chinese people have all been talking about mostly later on.
I would just like to build on that actually. So I've seen this in action quite a few places. Like I've been to a couple of restaurants where they have, if we are talking about commercial establishments, or even in the clinic, the gynecologist that my wife visited, she had an aquarium wherein, and it was always, you would always notice people gathering around, and, whenever there's a wait time, whenever they are kind of waiting for their turn to come, or in the restaurant to be seated, that is the kind of place where you are attracted to, and it keeps you calm down. Even at the airport, I believe there is, at the Delhi airport, there's a very beautiful aquarium which is kept there.
And it is not just kept there for the look of it, it's actually kept there for people. If their flights are delayed, they can be calm. So that's very true, guys. So from that, I'll just have another question. There are a lot of corporates today have this concept of ideation centers where people can actually walk into this room and wherein there would be some things which have been put which encourage the ideation or ideas in the head. So do you feel that, would you recommend something of this sort?
Yeah, I would definitely do, and this I can say on with authority because I work in ad agency, so wherein ideation and ideas are the currency of in our profession, right? So that is where we work on, and every single day we have brainstorming sessions for any, whether it is a pitch, whether it's for technology or a solution for any of our clients. So we get people together in a room. We have long discussions about things. So we have several activities in our offices to aid to that, right? So it may not directly be involved with it. We even have a carom board. We have people playing around. We have badminton or table tennis kit is there for people to kind of unwind and get into a relaxed state of mind before they enter into this brainstorming session, because it can be fairly challenging or mentally exhausting otherwise. This is a very good device to aid in that process, right? So we keep a lot of greenery around our offices just to maintain that serenity and calm. And this is certainly an add-on with the the beauty of aquatic life and the nature, a little piece of nature within the office.
Great. Thank you so much, Swapnil. And would you recommend this to your friends and family? Would you recommend Aquascaper Lab as a brand to your friends and families?
I already moving forward, I'm going to continue with it. Not just the product, but the team and the support that we get along with it are in equal parts responsible. And I think you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Arna. Thank you so much, Swapnil. And thank you so much, Shiba, for this great conversation. I did not know a lot of things and benefits that you could actually get, which you just spoke about with your experience in the last 6 months. So it was very beautiful. And thanks for the lovely coffee, Shiba.